Sumit sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Sir, let me start first live streaming and the recording, then you start your lecture.
Okay, as soon as you will say, I will start.
Yes. Wait a minute.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Start.
Thank you. Good morning, student. Good morning, students. Let me introduce myself. Myself, Sumit Shinde from Kolhapura Municipal Secondary School. Yesterday, we have started the 7th chapter of Science to Energy Flow in an Ecosystem. Some of the students, if have not joined yesterday's class, we will just overlook of 2 minute session what we have been teach, what we have been taught in yesterday class. In yesterday class, we have just started our chapter Energy Flow and Ecosystem. The key topics was ecosystem, food chain, food web, and energy pyramid. Okay, we have learned the factors related to ecosystem. What are the biotic and abiotic components we have been studied. We have learned the definition of ecosystem and what are the 4 trophic levels of ecosystem, primary, secondary, effects, and mixed consumers. Okay, and again we have learned all these primary, secondary, and effects and mixed consumer one by one, and we have learned all the details regarding this. We have also learned what are the food chains, what is the food chains. Okay, food chains, how does it works and how does it becomes unstable. Okay, that also we have been learned. We have also been learned about the food web, what is the food web and how does it works, what are the factors related to food web. Okay, and again one more important thing, yesterday we have been done about against the food chain versus food web, that is differentiate between the food chain and food web. What is the distinguished characteristics between the food chain and food web. Okay, students. Now, after that, we have just learned about this on energy pyramid. What is the energy pyramid? Okay. What is the characteristics of energy pyramid and how does it have a different levels, first, second, and third? What are the energy? How does it get decreased? Okay, that also we have been learned, and we have learned about the sun is referred as one of the way of a transport of energy. It is the ultimate source of energy about such that we have been learned, and we have given some homework also. I hope everyone students have completed it from work and sent to their subject teachers. Okay, yesterday this was the preface of yesterday's topic. Okay, fine. Now today
Sumit sir.
Connection was disconnected, ma'am.
Okay. Start now.
I'm starting once again. Okay.
Okay. Start.
Students, sorry for interruption. Today we are going to start our next session. Okay, next session is second session. Okay. Our second sessions, today's key topics are biogeochemical cycle and second one is carbon cycle. First of all, you should know what is the meaning of biogeochemical cycle. Okay, what is biogeochemical cycle? But students, the name itself describes biogeo means there are two words, bio and geo. Okay, bio means all the living components. What are the living components comes under the bio. Okay, and geo means non-living components together when they form the life cycle with the help of some chemicals. The chemical word is given here. Chemical. What is the chemicals? What are the biogeochemical we are going to learn? All the two terms combined with the chemical, it have been created one cycle, one life cycle. In this topic, we are going to learn. The biogeo means both living and non-living also. Okay. Next, we shall learn in detail. First of all, look over here. Biogeochemical cycle is consist of mainly through the energy flow in an ecosystem. Okay, that is biogeochemical cycle. That is the energy flow in an ecosystem is one way. The flow of nutrition is cyclical. Okay, all organisms you know that need nutrition for their growth. That means study the various components and explain
Sumit sir. Sumit sir. Sumit sir, are you there? Sumit sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Start your lecture.
Ma'am, connection is getting interrupted many times.
Okay, sir.
Oh. In biogeochemical cycles, there are two types of cycles. Okay. First one is gaseous cycle. Okay. Gaseous cycle. And second one is sedimentary cycle. Got it? Now, gaseous cycle means gas. Oxygen is one of the example of gaseous. Okay. Already here is given. What are the gaseous, in gaseous cycle, what are the components are there? All these four components you can look here: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. You know, these four gaseous substances are very important for the life essential process. Okay, all these four, they are very important. There are other than gases are also there, but these four are very essential. And all this we are founding in our environment. Okay, in our percentage of, we know that the percentage of nitrogen is more, then after consecutive there was oxygen, and after that carbon and hydrogen, so on. Okay, and these are the gaseous cycles. And what are the sedimentary cycles? In sedimentary cycles we can see that phosphorus, sulfur, calcium, and potassium, these are the sedimentary cycles. Now, what is the gaseous cycle? Okay. Now, what is the, shall we learn the what the definition of gaseous cycle? Then accumulation of the main abiotic gaseous nutrient materials is found in the earth atmosphere. I will repeat again: an accumulation of the main abiotic gaseous nutrients material is found in the earth atmosphere. The gaseous cycle is a speedier cycle than the sedimentation cycle. Now, what is the definition of sedimentary cycle? An accumulation of the main abiotic nutrients materials. What is the difference between that is gaseous nutrient and it is abiotic nutrient material is found in soil, sediment, and sedimentary rocks, etc. of the, in terms of the earth, or whatever the materials we are finding in the soil, sediment, are the sedimentary rocks, etc. are the examples of sedimentary cycles which we are found: phosphorus, sulfur, and carbon and potassium. What are the, it includes soil components like other than, it's include also, we can say that it's iron also. Okay, calcium and phosphorus, there already we have discussed, but iron is also one of the important component of sedimentary cycles. Okay, now these are the two types of biogeochemical cycles. It divided into two parts. First one of is gaseous cycle and sedimentary cycle. Okay, we have and what are its main? Gaseous cycle is there: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. And sedimentary cycle, what are there? Phosphorus, sulfur, calcium, and potassium. These four key points that you have to be remembered in whatever, whenever you are going to tell what are the biogeochemical cycles. It consists of two parts: gaseous cycle and sedimentary cycle. Already the details I have told you what are the definitions of gaseous cycles and sedimentary cycles. Now, Next, what are the, again, it divided into subparts. Now look here. In biogeochemical cycles, gaseous cycle, sedimentary cycle, yes, it is. Now, what is are the different phases? It has the two different phases, as we know, water phase and gas phase. We all know water phase, when we boil it, converted into the gaseous. So this is the process. Are you getting me? Gaseous cycles means what? Water. Generally in water cycle, what we are saying, that water gets evaporated, it forms a cloud. This is all the process that we are having learned in the previous classes. Okay, this is in two phases. Either it is in water phase or it is in a gas phase. Okay, same sedimentary cycle, soil and rocks. Fine particles of rocks, fine particles of rock gets converted into a soil, as we all know. Okay, soil means there are different types of soil we are finding, and rocks are the solid one. If we cut down the rocks into a fine particles, yes, it is created in the soil. And sedimentary cycle, it is in a two types. It means one is, it should be a soil, or either it should be a rocks. Okay. Now we know what are the life essential chemicals. Life essential chemicals are water. It is a chemical name. You know very well. Chemical name of water is H2O. You know very well. You have learned in 8th class. Carbon, C, nitrogen, and phosphorus. These are very important life essential chemicals. Other also are there, but these four are very important. Okay. Now, after that, how does biogeochemical cycle works? As we all know, look here. Now look at this diagram to very carefully. Biogeochemical cycle, as we all know, biological, all bio means what is that? I have already explained at very first from the beginning itself. Bio means biological, living beings. What are the living beings? And geochemical means geographic. Geographic, what are that? Rock, soil, air, and water. That are the geographical factors. Okay, rock, soils, air, and water. Now, look how this is important for the growth of plant. This is how examples have been created. For the growth of plant, all those factors are very essential. Means soil, okay, it's also essential for the oxygen, okay, nitrogen, water, and sun. All these factors are available. Means same. If we are human beings, and we also need all such biotic and abiotic components for the survival, as shown the example of plants. Okay, these are all the basic essential life components are useful for the growth and survival of the plants. And this work, as already we have learned from yesterday's class, then it again written by decomposers and decomposers too. Okay, plants, all that we have learned from by the extra yesterday's class. Okay, these are the biogeochemical factors cycles. Okay. Now next, we shall learn in details now. As look at this figure. Now what does figure this tell us? Okay, biogeochemicals. Okay, if it is, you can look here, the sun. Okay, sun is important. It's an important factor. One transport energy. Okay, biogeochemical, all nitrogen, oxygen, okay, hydrogen, and carbon. These are all important chemicals which are in a gaseous phase are present in a biogeochemical cycles. Okay. Now look at next. Biogeochemical cycles are, but these are the some kind of 4 types of cycle that we are going to learn. We are learning 4 types of cycle in this chapter. That is a carbon cycle, water cycle, oxygen cycle, and nitrogen cycle. Today we shall learn about the carbon cycle. After this topic, we are going to learn about the carbon cycle, and in next session, water cycle and oxygen cycle. What is this? Nitrogen cycle is not in your topic, but it is in a biogeochemical process. Sorry, nitrogen cycle is in your topic. All these are important, we will learn one by one. Okay, carbon cycle, oxygen cycle, water cycle, and nitrogen cycle. Okay. Next. Now look here, biogeochemicals cycle. As we know that nutritions are very necessary for the growth of organisms, are continuously transferred from biotic to abiotic. You can look here, from biotic to abiotic factors within an ecosystem. This cycle operates continuously through the medium of biosphere. Okay, biosphere through the medium of bio formed by the lithosphere, atmosphere, and hydrosphere. Okay, all this. The recycling of biological and geological and chemical sources of nutrition in this process, this complex process depend on the level of energy transferred in the ecosystem. Okay, biogeochemicals consist of all atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. Now, next. Look here, the cycling of chemicals between the biological and geological world is called a biogeochemical. Simple definition. If you just want to tell about the biogeochemical cycle, the cycling of chemicals between the biological and geological world is called a biological chemical cycle. This is the main topic of biogeochemical topic we have been learned. Now we shall learn about our next topic, carbon cycle. Carbon cycle. What is the carbon cycle is? As you know, what if the slide itself describes there would be no life on Earth without carbon? You cannot imagine life on Earth. Okay, carbon is very important. Okay, now after carbon dioxide. On the very lower classes, you have been just learn about the carbon dioxide. That generally in carbon dioxide, what you have been learned that we are releasing carbon dioxide and inhaling the oxygen from our atmosphere. Okay. Now, carbon, all living organisms have carbon as the basis for life. Plants, it also required carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis. Human beings, okay. Carbons, all living organisms have carbon as the basis for life. Okay, carbons are the base life forms. Okay, all living organisms have carbon as the basis for life. As you know, in human body also, there are 18% of carbon. How much carbon in our human body? That means it is essential for plants as well as for human beings also. We can find that 18% of carbon is present in our human body. Okay. Now, that means if one person weighing 100 kilos, suppose a human body weighing 100 kilos, that means it consists 18% of carbon. 18% means then 18 kilos of carbon present in a human body. That means you can understand how it is important. Carbon is important for survival. Okay, 18 kilos of carbon. Now, carbon cycle. Carbon cycle, it's using carbon and recycling it after. Okay, we will start studying in deep. Carbon cycle, the process of how carbon travels from living to the non-living things. Okay, we will learn carbon cycle. It is the process of how carbon travels from living to non-living things. Now, what is carbon cycle? As we all know, from this very diagram, it is clear that I already told you that oxygen and CO2, we all know. We have learned from lower classes that oxygen is very essential factor for the survival of human beings. We inhale the oxygen. Okay, we inhale the oxygen and exhale the CO2. Okay, exhale the CO2. Now, as look here, carbon cycle in carbon dioxide is excreted out. Okay, cell, for the cell. What it is important? Energy used by the cell. carbon dioxide is excreted out, water, glucose eat from the food, and oxygen need to get it from the outside. Okay, and we all know that human body is made up of multiple cells. And how does multiple cell have its following components? Energy used by the cell. These all factors are essential for the human cells for the survival. Okay. As now we can see that we can found carbon in various things. For respiration, carbon dioxide is released out. Okay. Combustion means in factories you also see that carbon dioxide is released out. Where does the carbon dioxide forms? Okay, carbon dioxide forms from the, first of all, it's in a respiration process, combustion in factories. What are the smokes? Release from the chemical practice, carbon dioxide also has been released. Biological, geological activities, means whatever you have been seen, the lava, that is also release of carbon dioxide. Okay, now look here. All this CO2 are released from the different factors: respiration, combustion, and geological activity. Okay, this CO2 is very important for the growth of plants. As we all study that without carbon there will be no life. Carbon is essential for the process of photosynthesis. Okay, look here. Excess of carbon dioxide is also not so good. Excess of means today we can see that the nature has become unstable because we have carbon dioxide is essential, but has also a limitation. Excess of carbon dioxide will harmful for human beings as well as living things, for animals, and for all trees and plants also. Okay, carbon dioxide is essential, but it has some kinds of limitations, not in excess. Now day to day, we have seen that the percentage of carbon dioxide is highly increases. That's why it's referred as carbon dioxide as in a category of pollution. So sad, because we generated more and more carbon dioxide rather than its requirement. Okay, by what? Today respiration, it's okay. Geological activity, it is a natural disaster. But for combustion, we have created carbon dioxide more and more in our surrounding, in our atmosphere. Okay. Now, we all know this is a very simple diagram for the growth of plant. Sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. These are the three basic components are required for the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, as we all know, the process of photosynthesis is for creating is the process which create a food in plant and for the growth also, which converted when we also further it's converted into a glucose and sugar. Glucose, sugar, it's called plus oxygen. Okay. Look here, this is the process: sunlight, carbon dioxide plus water, and which by the process of photosynthesis it creates oxygen. Okay. Now we all know plants also release CO2 during a day. We have learned in lower class also that at night time plants it gives is oxygen, but it also at a night time or sometime daytime it's also release some short type of carbon dioxide. Okay, now this look a very important diagram. Now this is for a last topic. Now we all know that in atmosphere, carbon, nitrogen, sources of nutrition are very essential for the growth of plants. Okay, plants are called as autotrophs, which create foods by themselves. Okay, these are the autotrophs. Now, how it's interconnected with each other. Producers transfer energy